What happens when the walls of secrecy finally crack, and private moments burst into the public eye? Explosive leak. Chen Feiyu and Wang Yinglu's private world exposed has sent shockwaves rippling across the entertainment industry, leaving fans stunned and insiders scrambling for answers. The atmosphere is charged. The rumors are relentless. And the truth is more dramatic than anyone imagined. Let's join Red Carpet Reveal to uncover and explore every hidden detail right now. What happens when the fragile line between private life and public image is suddenly torn apart? The entertainment industry is no stranger to scandals. But few have rocked it as hard as the explosive leak that thrust Chen Feiyu and Wang Yinglu into the eye of a storm. Overnight, two rising stars with carefully built reputations found their most private world laid bare, sending fans into frenzy and insiders into a spiral of speculation. It is the kind of moment that defines a cultural shift, reminding everyone that fame carries a price far higher than applause. Chen Feiyu, often hailed as one of the most promising young actors in China, had carved a path defined by intensity and raw talent. The son of a legendary filmmaker, expectations had always hung over him like a shadow. But he embraced them with a blend of youthful charisma and professional discipline. His roles resonated with audiences, cementing him as both a heartthrob and a serious performer. For years, he cultivated an image of sincerity, a young man devoted to his craft, seemingly untouched by the darker temptations of celebrity life. Wang Yinglu, by contrast, built her success through persistence and undeniable charm. While perhaps less established than her counterpart, she carried a brightness that made her stand out. Audiences adored her for her natural warmth. Colleagues praised her for her professionalism. And she began to emerge as one of the new faces of China's entertainment future. For many, she was the embodiment of potential, a star not yet fully recognized but destined for bigger stages. That these two paths would intersect was almost inevitable. Occupied the same orbit, gracing red carpets, appearing in variety shows, and mingling with a constellation of rising actors and actresses who defined a new wave of Chinese entertainment. At first, there was nothing remarkable about their interactions. A glance here, a laugh there. The kind of normal exchanges fans are quick to romanticize. Yet beneath the surface, there was something more. A connection that would eventually draw them together beyond the screen. The leak changed everything. It began quietly, with whispers in online communities about suspicious photos circulating among private circles. Then, like wildfire, whispers became visible evidence. Blurry images, unverified clips, and fragments of conversations that seemed to belong to Chen Feiyu and Wang Yinglu erupted onto social media platforms. In a matter of hours, story had spread across Weibo, Douyin, and beyond, reaching international outlets desperate to understand what was unfolding. Fans reacted with disbelief. Some insisted the content was fabricated, the work of malicious actors seeking to ruin two careers. Others admitted the resemblance was uncanny, fueling an online battle between defenders and skeptics. Within minutes, hashtags tied to both stars shot to the top of trending lists, generating millions of views. The sheer speed of the spread underscored the uncontrollable power of digital gossip, a storm that no agency could contain. For those who had long suspected something between Chen Feiyu and Wang Yinglu, the leak was both vindication and devastation. Vindication because subtle clues had always been there, coincidental social media posts with identical backgrounds, matching items of clothing, overlapping schedules that seemed too neat to dismiss. Devastation because the confirmation came not in a heartfelt announcement but in a violation of privacy. The fairy tale narrative fans might have wanted, a love story revealed with grace, was instead twisted into a scandal framed by intrusion. Agencies scrambled to respond. It initially fueled chaos, with neither star issuing immediate statements. That void only invited further speculation. Insiders claimed the two had been quietly close for years, while others painted the relationship as a youthful fling blown out of proportion. The longer the silence stretched, the louder the debate grew. The industry, too, was shaken. Directors whispered about the potential fallout for projects currently in production. Brand representatives privately questioned whether endorsements would need to be reevaluated. Colleagues spoke in cautious tones, whether to express support or distance themselves until the dust settled. The uncertainty was palpable, carried with it the sense that careers could be remade, or ruined, by what came next. Of this unfolding saga leaves the world in limbo. Images were out there. The discussions were relentless. and the truth seemed both undeniable and unbearably complicated. Fans were left to wonder not only what had truly happened but how Chen Feiyu and Wang Yinglu would navigate the wreckage of their exposed private world. The storm did not pass quickly. If anything, grew stronger as agencies and insiders attempted to manage the narrative. Days after the leak, the first official statements emerged, worded and designed to balance denial with damage control. Legal threats were issued against those spreading the content, calling it a violation of privacy and a distortion of truth. But the very act of responding, however cautiously, only kept the story alive. The leak was not simply about salacious content. It was about the collapse of an image. Chen Feiyu had long been portrayed as clean-cut, hard-working, and entirely focused on his craft. Wang Yinglu, too, had been seen as untainted by scandal. The relation that they shared private moments shifted the lens through which the public viewed them. Suddenly, they were no longer just rising stars, they were flawed, vulnerable humans caught in the unforgiving glare of celebrity culture. Fans around the world reacted in dramatically different ways. In China, social media was split between outrage and empathy. Some called for accountability, demanding apologies and explanations. Others defended the pair fiercely, pointing out that everyone has the right to private life, and that the real crime was the invasion of their intimacy. National fans often leaned toward compassion, criticizing the culture of leaks that so often destroys careers. The divide itself became part of the story, a reflection of broader debates about privacy, morality, celebrity in the digital age. The industry impact was immediate. Endorsements were quietly reviewed, with some brands pausing campaigns until the storm cleared. Streaming platforms monitored audience reactions closely, noting whether upcoming dramas starring Chen Feiyu or Wang Yinglu would be affected. Some analysts predicted long-term damage. Others argued the scandal might paradoxically boost visibility, making them even more in demand once the dust settled. Scandal, after all, has a way of magnifying fame. The most fascinating part of the revelation, however, was the timeline it unveiled. Insiders began piecing together how long the two had been involved. Whispers suggested their bond had formed years earlier, strengthened by long hours on sets and mutual struggles in a cutthroat industry. Quiet moments, shared meals, night rehearsals, whispered phone calls, painted a picture of a romance built in secrecy, shielded from a world too eager to devour it. What emerged was less a scandalous fling and more a portrait of two young stars clinging to each other for support. Yet, for all the damage it caused, the leak also humanized them. Beneath the glamour and polish, they were revealed as ordinary people seeking connection in extraordinary circumstances. Fans who chose empathy saw in them not shame but courage, the courage to endure exposure, to withstand judgment, to continue moving forward even as the weight of the world pressed against them. The cultural significance of this leak cannot be overstated. In China's entertainment industry, where image is meticulously crafted and fiercely guarded, the idea that private lives can so easily be weaponized has sparked heated debate. Should celebrities be held to impossible standards of perfection? Should their humanity be sacrificed for public consumption? It's time to rethink the boundaries of privacy and allow stars the freedom to live without fear of destruction? As Chen Feiyu and Wang Yinglu step into the uncertain future, questions abound. Will they confirm their relationship openly, turning scandal into a declaration of love? Will they retreat into silence, hoping time erases the frenzy? Or will they find themselves forced into reinvention, building new careers out of the ashes of exposure? Whatever path they choose, their lives will never be the same. This story is not merely about leaked images or shocking revelations. It is about the collision of fame and humanity, peril of living under a spotlight that magnifies flaws and devours secrets. It is about two young stars whose private world was ripped open, making them vulnerable but also undeniably real. As the world watches, one thing is certain: the explosive leak that exposed Chen Feiyu and Wang Yinglu has become more than a scandal. It is a cultural mirror, reflecting the hunger for spectacle, the fragility of image, and the timeless truth that behind every celebrity lies a person fighting to hold on to their own story. Whether they rise above or falter under the weight of exposure, it will echo as a warning, a lesson, and perhaps, in time, redemption arc yet to be written. As the dust settles on this explosive leak, one truth remains clear: Chen Feiyu and Wang Yinglu are no longer just names in the spotlight. but human beings whose private world was ripped open for the entire world to see. What began as whispers and speculation has erupted into a cultural moment that forces us all to reflect on the fragile balance between fame and privacy. Their journey is no longer just about stardom, it is about resilience, vulnerability, and the courage to endure even when the world demands perfection. Thank you for joining us on this emotional and revealing journey. Your curiosity, passion, are what give stories like these their power to resonate across borders. Stay tuned with the red carpet revealed for every update, hidden detail, and every unforgettable moment from the stars you love. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, because the next chapter of this story is only just beginning.